Hey, beautiful humans. Welcome to Hey Mommy's Talking with Stephanie and Natty.
Hi,
Let's see,
hi.
episode two. We are going to be discussing. Last time we talked a bit about the day of the layoff, and we
Yeah.
talked about that first week or so of being in the haze of
Yeah.
the layoff. So this time we're going to discuss about 2 weeks later, more
Yeah.
towards the beginning of August when our work was officially over. Because August 1st was our official last day,
Yes.
and kind of what we were working on or feeling or going through at that time once the job was actually out the window.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um, I'm trying to, and we're doing this a couple weeks past that too. So this is still very fresh and very new. But I feel like, we had touched on not having a ton of savings
Yeah.
and what do you do? We were in freak out mode. And, for me, it was like, I had a lot of people be like, when they found out I got laid off, they're like, take the time, just relax,
Yes.
like take a breath, blah, blah, blah. But for me, and I think you're similar to this, like I'm such a workhorse sometimes. And just knowing the specifics of my situation, I was like, I don't have time to
Yeah.
rest.
That
I felt
was
like
me. Yeah.
I felt like I couldn't waste any second. And
Yeah.
so, like the day after I posted a LinkedIn post, I was doing cold applying to places. I was reaching out to people I knew, just like in panic mode.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I I don't know. And it's just like at least and let me know if it's the same for you. Like, I mean, job hunting in general just sucks.
Yeah. Facts. Facts.
But it's like you have to like plant seeds early because at least for a designer, like I at a minimum usually 4 rounds of interviews, like if not 5 or 6 interviews.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's just like if I'm going to get to any sort of round past round three, like you got to start doing it now. It feels like I felt like I couldn't waste any time, which just added to the panic and like didn't help me with actually processing what had just
Yes.
happened.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. It's the same for me. Like, I tried to take the time because so many people told me. I mean, I had, and I'm sure you did too. We both had people reaching out from our company that had the past layoff and the past layoff
yeah,
because, mind you, we had a lot of layoffs at this company
yeah,
towards the end. And I had people saying, take the time, blah, blah, blah. And I was in stress out mode. My
yeah.
husband was in stress out mode. And I just wanted to get to work and like start applying and stuff. And I did take like a week or so just to kind of chill, but I was still doing little things like one application here, one application there. But the lead time is huge. And I'm really realizing that because I don't know about, I mean, we talked about it. We were both kind of, we knew it was coming, but also blindsided. And so there was no like lead up time. Like I'm
Yeah.
week three, week four. I mean, we're now what, week 5 or 6 now, and I still have only had like one interview, and it was with just a recruiter, like, you know, at somewhere that I cold applied. But I feel like the lead time is huge. I feel like making the connections are huge and networking is huge. But even with that, it's still been like, hello.
Yeah, because like I mean, I did that LinkedIn post, and I was shocked at the outreach that I got,
Yes.
like from people that I went to school with, like almost 20 years ago in Chicago,
Yeah.
like who I haven't seen or talked to in forever. People
Yeah.
from my first job out of college, like 15 years
Mm-hmm.
ago. Like it was amazing. Like all these people kind of came out of the woodwork to help.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same, and that's comforting, but at the same time, it like doesn't necessarily mean anything
No.
too. Like it,
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's not valuable or anything, but it's just like, sometimes it's a little thoughts and prayers ish,
Yeah.
where
That's
it's
what
just
I
like,
was gonna say.
yeah,
It's like supportive and yes, that's awesome and I love that, but at the same in the same breath you're like, thanks for the support. I need a
I
job.
need a fucking
Yeah.
job. Exactly. It's like, is this real or like, I don't know.
Oh,
And like,
speaking of, sorry,
yeah.
but you saying, is this real? These scams on LinkedIn.
Oh, fuck them. Fuck them.
Oh
Like,
my
how
God.
dare you? How dare you, whoever
Yes.
you are, take, because I've ran into a few of them too. I know you were running into them where I'm like, how dare you prey on the weak, the tired, the stressed, the vulnerable? Like,
Yes.
I'm like, shame on you. Like,
Shame. Yeah.
yeah, I,
Shame.
yeah,
Shame.
seriously, I was just like, you are the lowest of the low. Like,
It is a new level of like scamming. It is
yeah,
a new level. It is a but like it is in line with those people who call the elderly
yes,
and prank them with like your son or your granddaughter's in jail in Mexico. Send us
yeah,
like it is
yeah,
on the same line and in the same vein because you are preying on people that just lost their jobs, that are wondering how they can pay their rent, wondering how they can save their mortgage, and you are sending them fake stuff to steal their identity.
yeah,
I am appalled and disgusted by
yeah,
that. And,
yeah,
we didn't experience that because we've had a job.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
And
like,
then we'd make that post and it was like boom, 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 boom,
yeah,
boom, boom,
let's
boom.
connect, let's connect, let's connect. Like, and for anyone, like, because it happened to me like twice. I think the
Hmm.
second time I saw it, but the first time, this guy, this guy or whoever it was, I think had responded on one of our posts or one
Yeah.
that I posted about you, like just trying to like pump you up and get you out there and stuff like that. So it's just like, and you're attaching yourself to this post where I'm trying to help somebody out, like
Hmm.
genuinely get something out there. And our hope is running so thin. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like it's just like, and for these people to be like, let's connect, let's reach out, and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, like there's a bite, you know, and your
Hmm.
hopes start to go up a little bit, and then just to like, I went into this guy's profile. I forget what happened exactly to make me be like, wait, 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 wait,
Uh-huh.
like, oh, I think it was like he's like, send me your resume in like a DM on LinkedIn. Send me your resume, send me your case studies, which I had ready,
Hmm.
and I want to check them out real quick. And so I sent him, and then maybe like 2 minutes later, he wrote back and was just like, "I just put your resume through our ATS system,
Hmm.
basically, and you only got." And he sends me this like grainy little screenshot, and it's just like it only scored like a 25. And like
Hmm.
for me, for my resume, something that I worked on during that first hazy week,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I really did try my best to make it like an ATS compliant resume, because that's a whole new level of things too, because
Yes.
everything's not going through, it doesn't feel like anything's going through a real person anymore. Like,
No.
so
Yeah.
not only do you have to like go through this gauntlet of interviews, but before you can even get to that gauntlet, you have to be like approved by a robot or something. Like
Yeah.
it's absolutely ridiculous. And so he's just like, your resume only scored a 25. Like, let me help you. And then he starts the sales pitch, and he's like,
Mm.
contact this person to help you optimize your resume. And at that point, I was just like, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
no. And so I went and looked at his, and the thing is, I had sent him my resume that had my address and my phone number
Hmm.
and everything on
Hmm.
it.
Your
I
full
sent,
name. Yeah.
yes. And like, I was just like, and like, I mean, it's probably too late, but I like deleted those from the DM like immediately.
Hmm.
My case studies, my resume, because I was like, oh no. And I went and checked out his profile, and it was just like everything was out of Dubai.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there's not legit jobs in Dubai, but like everything was
Yes.
out of Dubai. He had no college education, and he was
Mm.
saying like he was this big business person, and I just was like, fuck you, buddy.
See,
Like I seriously was just like, how dare you? Like,
yes.
yeah,
Well, some of them are even more clever. So, what
sure,
I
sure.
found out, and for anyone who is going through like the job search right now, these are some key things that I found. So, I got hit a ton, and I think they hit certain, I don't know if they're like, they have a meeting and they're like, we're going to hit the sales and customer
Hammer
success
Central, yeah.
people right now. And then next month, we're going to hit the product people. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what it was, but I know I got a ton, and so did Billy, which is
Oh, sure.
one of the individuals who got laid off with us, who was
Yeah,
on my team. So also
sure.
under customer success, got hit with a lot. And he had texted me and was like, I think these are scams. And I was like, give them anything. And
Yeah.
the points are they are now using these like realistic pictures. They're
Yeah.
saying they're from realistic companies. So one of them was a Amazon worker.
Oh
One
yeah.
was worked at Oracle. One was like all these things. But some of them didn't do it right. So some were very clever and it said like senior technical recruiter at
Sure.
Amazon. But
Uh-huh.
then when you go into it, it says that their LinkedIn profile was created the day before. So you're,
Oh,
hmm, why would
thanks.
you just now create a LinkedIn profile? And they had like all this experience. They had like this master's at, Stanford and all of this. But in the message, they said to contact someone that had a Gmail email, and it wasn't even their person. And so I went through like a total FBI deep dive on these people because I
Good.
was like, what the hell is going on? And then I started writing them back and I was like, great, send me the link of the job post so that I can apply directly. And they were like, no, 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 no. You need to send your stuff to this email. So, just for anyone listening who's going through the job search, if someone tells you to send your any information to a Gmail, do
Yes.
not
I think
do
mine
it.
was, it was
And
like, contact this other person. I'm like,
yes. And if
why?
they route you somewhere else, like you need to just apply on the website.
Mhm.
And if someone reaches out to you, like vet their their LinkedIn profile and all of that. But
Yeah.
I mean, preying on those people like us that are searching for jobs is
Yeah.
just horrible. And it's like a new level of things that we need to teach now, like our college
Whole
kids
other hurdle.
who are going
Yeah.
to be like looking for jobs and things like that. It's just it's crazy
Gross.
nowadays what people do for
It's
scams.
gross. Yeah. And so, and I don't feel like I've had to, not that, I mean, scams have been around forever, but this was my first time encountering them with job searching.
Yes.
And I just was so grossed out by it. I was just
Yeah.
like, okay, here's another fucking hurdle
Yeah.
to go, like, so it's just like the scammers, the bots,
Yeah.
and like, and then you do get a call with the recruiter, right? And it's just like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, like I checked out your LinkedIn page and everything looks great. And then crickets, crickets, crickets. And then like it's just all these moments of like,
Yes. It's a
when
roller
you're already
coaster.
when you're already like so depleted.
Yes.
And so it's just, I think, I don't know. And it's hard to say like what I should have done or what I wish I did differently or anything. Like I just remember that first 2 weeks of the haze, of the initial blow of it all. Like I remember saying to my husband, I was just like, I can't wait to be past this initial freak out because
Yeah.
I'm so just drunk off of fear, and you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
just think straight and just like pure panic. And like I don't know, like I wish I would have taken more time, but at the same time,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
it's just hard because you don't know what's going to happen. And like,
No.
so I
No.
don't know.
And
I don't know if it's like worth saying like actually do take the time because
I
like
think it is worth it.
yeah,
And we're talking about, right, like our weeks 3 and 4
yeah,
of our craziness. But my week 3, I would say I did take time. So like my first week, I took a little bit of time, but also was
or
like doing things on the side. My
yeah.
second week, I was like, like freaking out. And then I'm like, just apply, apply, apply. And then my third week, I was like, let me like take my friend's advice.
Yes.
Let me just chill. Let me focus on where do I want to go? What do I want to
Yeah.
do? I
Yeah.
mean, and honestly, week 3, when we all started to like, when you and I started to just have a breather, this is when this came about.
Yeah.
And we
Seriously.
started talking about why don't we do a podcast? Why don't we chat about our lives and what we're
Yeah.
going through? And yes, we're talking about just layoffs, but I mean, Natalie and I were talking about our families and our kids before we even got laid off. So like, why
Yeah.
not talk about being a mom and all of these things? But I think when we turned off our brain from being laid off, I
Yeah.
think like great things start to happen and you start to be able to just breathe.
Like it literally, it felt like fog. It felt like fog kind of cleared away a little bit. And
Yes.
like we've touched on this a little bit. Like I'm not a religious person, but I do
Hmm.
consider myself like a spiritual person.
Hmm.
I really love like astrology and like I don't know, like that's a whole other podcast
Hey,
probably.
what
But
we'll
like
have to do a podcast.
yeah,
We'll have to do an episode of that.
um, uh, I do strongly believe that like the universe pushes me where I'm supposed to go, almost like
Correct.
magnets pulling you in a certain direction. And so, the first 2 weeks, freaking out, planting some seeds, trying to process what just happened, trying to keep the fear at bay, even though it absolutely succeeded and won. But like
Hmm.
the third week, so that first week of August, my husband and I already had a whole week trip planned to go to Seattle for, we both turned 40 this year, and it was our 10 years together.
Yeah.
And we haven't gone. We got married in 2019. That was the last time he and I have gone anywhere together, just the two of
How
us.
funny because we got married in 2019
Oh,
also.
really? How funny.
Yeah.
Well, and like 6 months later, and probably
Yep.
six
Ta-da.
months, six
Yeah.
months later, got pregnant and COVID
COVID.
happened. So it's just like literally my life went just to the walls of my house. Like it really
Yes.
got small. And so it's just like we couldn't really do anything. We have kids and life and whatever. And so it was like I said, it was a big birthday, it's a big anniversary, and we're like, let's go somewhere. And so I think back in like April, we're like, let's do it. Let's go to Seattle.
Hmm.
And we had paid for everything. And, then this layoff happens. And we were talking in our last episode about like, what do we cut? What do we save? What do we,
Yes.
blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, I don't know. And it's so interesting to think about like my stressors and all the things that were bothering me before this layoff.
Hmm.
And so like we had been like, we need this trip, we need this trip, we need this alone time, we need a refresher, blah, blah, blah. And so when the layoff happened, I'm like, should I cancel the trip? And that's where I
Yeah.
did have some buddies be like, no, go on. I
No.
actually had one friend and he said something like that totally made me decide to go on the trip. And basically he was just like, in X amount of time or whatever, you're not going to remember the stress that you were feeling
Yes.
of this time. He's like, you're going to remember being in a beautiful place with the person you love.
Yeah.
And so that really was my, like, we're going on this trip. I feel like the universe is forcing me to not focus on the doom that just happened.
Yeah.
Go somewhere new, be in love,
Yeah.
remember, like, and go somewhere beautiful. And we went, and it was so hard. It really was hard. I would say we were there for like 8 days, and I would say the first 4 days, it was blissful. Like we were in a beautiful place. We stayed out on the Olympic Peninsula. It
Oh,
was like, and I'm from
nice.
Wyoming, where it's like literally like antelope and buffalo.
Yeah.
So like there's the ocean and there's trees. Like there's like 8 trees here. Like, so it's just like I was in this different world. And so it was like this beautiful distraction. And we had so much fun. And it was just the two of us. So we didn't have to like wait on the kids or anything. We could be grown ups. And but then about halfway through, like when and like I really tried not to think about work, and I really tried not to
Hmm.
look at my LinkedIn, but you still
Of,
do because
of course.
at least maybe 7 times a day. But like,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yes.
like and even though I really tried to like keep the layoff and the work stuff at bay, like I still took a few recruiter calls on that trip
Hmm.
from my
Hmm.
Airbnb. Like I just was just like, I need to keep planting. Um, but about halfway through, like that's when I started to get some initial like rejections from places, and a lot of them were like cold apply places where it's like
Yeah.
our robot says no,
Yeah.
and but you still feel like the jab of it.
You do.
And about the second half of the trip, I just went back to the like the dread,
Mm.
and it sucked because like I just wish that I don't know. It was an amazing trip, but at the same time, there was this like there
Yeah.
just for
Yeah.
me with the whole job situation and stuff. So I'm still grateful that we went. I'm glad that we went, but yeah, there was just this overhanging dread to come back to.
Yeah.
And our last night before we left, had a huge, massive panic attack.
Yeah.
Like
I remember you telling me that. It's,
yeah, and like just me working, and like I think the last 2 days I was like freaking out because I didn't have my case studies ready, and like all these places were like, send me your portfolio, send me your case studies, da da da. And so that's another thing too for designers. We have to do this whole song and dance Like it's not just your resume. It's like you have to brand yourself. You have to have case
Mm.
studies and remember all the details, but don't talk about too many details because then you're just rambling and exploring. Like, and they have to be projects that made a huge difference and like shifted the world. Like it seems like
Oh
there's all
my
the
gosh.
criteria of like as a product designer, like it's crazy. It's not just about applying to a job and like
Yeah.
you have to know how to sell yourself and like it's so hard because in these interviews like we're already talking about the reality of your situation where you're
Hmm.
vulnerable, you're sleep deprived, you feel crazy,
Yeah.
you're doubting yourself left and right, and then you're supposed to go into these interviews like calm,
Yeah.
cool, confident and be like I'm the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Here's my polished amazing thing for Apple and Google, like it's better. No, like
Yeah. No.
I applied at one place who they were making like a native mobile app.
Uh-huh.
I've done so much mobile in the past, so much like responsive, native, everything. But my case studies weren't a specific mobile app.
Oh boy.
And so I went through the vault of my files and I found every single mobile thing I could find. But these are over the course of years. So
Yeah.
I don't have all the specifics. All I have are screenshots or like,
Yeah.
you know, and I send them all, like, I think I sent them, not kidding, like 8 different mobile projects, like visuals.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to elaborate more on these, but just proving to you I've done mobile stuff in the past. And then, I go through 2 interviews and then they're like, you just, you don't have enough mobile experience. Like, because my case studies weren't a mobile specific case study. And I'm just
Oh
like,
my gosh.
so it's just like, and I, as a designer, and I think this applies to probably engineer, like any job,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
let me prove it to you. Just because I don't have it in a book
Yes.
and I don't have it all, like I'm like a good designer should be able to do all this shit, and I
Yes.
can. And so it's just like I don't know, like this whole experience has been so annoying
It
and
is
like
annoying.
nerve wracking,
Yeah.
and it's making me really think how to collect this and do this stuff in real time as you go on. Like I think
Well,
idealistically, it's
and
like
you don't think about that in real
no,
time. You're like,
because
you're just
going
working.
on to your new project, you're going on to your new thing. But now
Yes.
I'm almost like, my brain is like forever going to feel like I'm going to get laid off, I think.
Yes.
And so now it's like, hey, after every project, and I've never been on a team where we've done this successfully, or like I've never been on a team where we have like a retrospect and like make a case study of what we just did.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be so helpful for anyone on the project to do
Yeah.
like, hey, what did we just do? Why were we doing it? What was the problem?
Yeah.
What was good? What was bad about the project? How did we work together, good or bad? And
Yeah.
what was the final result? Slap that together and give it to your team to use if they're ever
Yes.
in a situation,
Yeah.
because it's to conjure all that information after the
Mm-hmm.
fact, like months, years after you've done
Yeah.
a project,
It
is it's insane. And so like
it
all
is
these places
insane.
are like, you're great and your stuff looks great, but no. And I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it,
No,
yeah,
it's like any other, like I'm not a designer at all, but like I've written responses to RFPs.
yeah,
I've been a part of collaborating projects, building teams, all of that. And I remember when the layoff happens, I remember like I think I slacked you and I was like, I gotta find that RFP because you helped me
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
design it. But I'm like, I gotta find all this stuff now
Yes.
that
I
I
know,
did.
like the and
And
like
like
the
and like
Notion ocean. I fucking hate Notion.
oh
Sorry,
my
like
gosh.
it's
I hate Notion too.
can't
But if
find.
any for future employers are watching, I know how to use it. But
I
I
refuse to. Like
hate it.
I Notion's great for vaults and encyclopedias worth of
Yeah.
documents. Great.
Yes.
I can't find anything in it.
Yeah.
My I
I
go blind. Like I would rather use like
know.
Jira or ClickUp or something like that and be like,
Yes.
here's the project.
ClickUp, let me just say, I love
I like ClickUp.
ClickUp. I
Yeah.
use it in my personal life
Oh,
because
yeah.
and people who are watching will get to know, or if people have joined us from my TikTok and stuff, like I do content creation just for fun on the side, but I've
Yeah.
started to do some like UGC for brands and stuff because hey, extra money. And
Uh-huh.
I am starting to utilize ClickUp to like organize all of my different UGC projects. And I am in
Hashtag
love.
ClickUp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hashtag ClickUp. I applied to one of your jobs. You already filled the role, so bummer. But we love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love ClickUp, and I think that's like a better place. And I think honestly, moving forward,
Yeah.
I'm going to utilize ClickUp like in whatever job outside of like on my personal computer. And if I execute something, whatever I do, project, anything, or even just little tasks, because when you're building out your resume too, when you've been
Oh,
somewhere
yeah.
for 4 years, you don't, I had to think back and be like, okay, what are all the amazing things that I've done
I know. I know.
that I can put in bullet points? Like I had to like rack my brains. So to be able to just have everything stored somewhere, like,
Yeah.
off site,
Hmm.
is smart because to your point, I feel like now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get whatever job I get next. When I do land one, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna get laid off, and that's also a reason why, like, I think, going back to kind of that week 3 of like the fog has lifted, uh,
Yeah.
I started thinking, and I know I talked to you about this, which shout out to Natalie. She's great help when it comes to designing stuff because she's helping me with my UGC stuff. But like, I'm like, maybe I should just do my own thing.
I
Like,
know.
and obviously, like, I need to pay my bills. So, like, I'm
Yeah.
going to, and I do love working with a team. I do love being employed somewhere and being able to contribute to a grander mission. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not some person that's like, I'm going to be an influencer for the rest of my life. Like,
Yeah.
I don't,
And it's
like,
gonna
this
and it's
is,
gonna work overnight. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm going to get a lot of money in 2 days. Like, that's
Yeah.
just not like who I am. It's not how I'm wired. Like, yes, I'm gonna keep doing stuff on the side, even if when, not if, when I find a job.
Yeah.
But I was in that week 3 of like, well, what can I do for myself? Because at
Yeah.
least I won't have a worry of me being laid off because I'm not going to lay off myself,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well, and part of this whole experience too has been, again, I know I keep bringing this up, but like you're already in this self-doubting state. And then
Yes.
you have these interviews and you're presenting your best self and you're putting your best work out there and you're doing the whole song and dance the best to your ability, even though you're fucking miserable on the inside.
Yep.
And then people are just purely judging you surface level and saying no.
Yes.
And like, and just what that does to your self-confidence. And like we talked about this where I'm like, is this what, am I even good at what I do?
Yes. Is
Because
this
I'm
what
just like,
I'm meant to be doing? Am I supposed to be doing this? Was I even a good like candidate for the past 4 years? I'm
ah,
sorry.
have I,
Someone would not have kept us employed if we weren't not
I
good. But you start doubting yourself with everything when it
like, should I
comes to
even be
your
a designer?
career.
Should I even
Yes.
be a designer? Like the past 12 years have been a joke, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like all those that negativity just seeps in and it just feels like it's validated with each rejection.
Yes.
I just, it's so hard to lift yourself up when you just feel so low. And like, I think
And
that's where you do need people like you and you do need people like friends and family and people to remind you, like, my mom coming over and I'm crying and she's just like, remember this time? Like, like my mom was
yes.
just like, remember when that kid knocked you off your bike and blah, blah,
Yeah.
like just like reminding you of your resilience of your whole life. And then like my
Yeah.
husband being like my husband who I like, I like his like tough love. He's just like, shut the fuck up. Like he's
Yeah.
just like, he's like, you're like the greatest person I know. Like stop
Yeah.
talking about yourself that way. And I'm
Yes.
kind of like, oh, like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, like he checks me when I really need it and in a loving, good way.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's hard too because you get like you and I have reassured each other and we're like,
yeah,
you're great, this and that. And it's great to hear that from someone that you met through the work that you were doing.
of
It's
course.
hard to, while our husbands love us and they know us the best, our
Yeah,
husbands, our family, like all of that, it's hard
yeah,
to hear it from them because they have a bias. So it's like, of course, you're going to tell me that I'm amazing. Like, but like, you want to hear it from other people. And I think that's where like
And
there
in this situation,
was
work people for sure.
exactly. And there are some pluses. Like I've had one person, one guy that still works there that you'll probably know who I'm talking about, but him and I are like became besties uh,
Hmm.
there
Yeah.
and, traveled a bunch together. And he was like my counterpart at where we got let go from. And by the way, I think we can say it. I mean, the company was TubeBuddy, like it was all over. We put it on our LinkedIn. So
Mhm.
we're not saying anything bad about them, but like
No.
we got laid off from TubeBuddy and this guy, and I won't say his name just because I don't know if he wants me to, but him and I, he was like my rock that whole time there. And one of the most amazing people that I've ever met. And when it happened, he was even distraught. I mean, he was almost crying on the phone. He was like, and that's the reassurance that you need that, like, okay,
I matter.
I matter and I did
Yeah.
something good. And it's not from a biased party. It's from
Yeah.
someone who met me through my job. And he continues to reassure me.
And
Shout
witness.
to
Witness.
you know who you are. I love you so much. You are
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what you need because when layoffs happen, life still goes on for those people. And
Yes.
no shade to the people who haven't reached out, who
No.
just reached out the day of and we haven't heard from really since. Like they still have to do the work at the place. They still have
World
their
still
lives to
spinning.
go through, but it's
Yeah.
hard for us because it's like, did I even do a great job when I was there? Like did anything that I did matter? Like, is
Yeah.
this what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be a leader in customer success? Like, am I even a good mentor to my teams? Like, did
Yeah.
I do things right? And like, so that guy, he continues to reassure me just like you do. Like our friendship has become,
Yeah.
and it's something that goes a really long way because it's not just someone who's your friend since high school or your
Yeah.
mom or your
Yeah.
husband or your kid. It's
Yeah.
someone who saw how much you put into your job
Yes.
and said, you know what, you are a kick-ass director of customer success. You are a kick-ass product designer and don't let
Yeah.
anyone else tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
And I think that
I
really helped me. That
absolutely.
person helped me just with his check-ins when
Mhm.
I was questioning whether I should even still do go down the road that I've been going down since since college. I've been
Yeah.
in the customer experience realm. Like, and I
Yeah.
was like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm horrible at it, you know?
Yeah. 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 Like, so
Oh,
my boss at TubeBuddy, like, not only, I don't know, like, I think is genuinely one of the kindest, sweetest people I've
he
ever
is.
ever
He
met.
is amazing.
Like there's so many examples of where he just went out of his way for me. And like, when we had the big restructure last year, he had to get rid of, I think we had like a 9-person team, 8 or 9,
Hmm.
and had to get rid of all of them and decided to keep me.
Hmm.
Which I remember even that day he called me to tell me what was going on. I was like, "Are you sure? Like, you want why me?" Like, I was just like, "There's way better people that you should probably be like keeping." And he was just like, ultimately, he was just like, "I think," he's like, "You fill in the gaps that I have, and vice versa, and we can learn
Hmm.
from each other." And so I was like,
Hmm.
"All right," and then with this next layoff, same. I know like because he said that he was just absolutely miserable having to give me that information
Yeah,
back
my
in
boss
July.
too. My boss too. And it's not the person that I was talking about, but I
Yeah,
will say like and I think you would agree, the people at TubeBuddy that are still there are phenomenal. And I think
yeah,
that was why it was so hard
yeah,
because this was my first layoff. We talked about this
yeah,
the
yeah.
last episode. This was our first time being laid off. But other jobs when I've left and stuff, I'm like, okay, like
Hi, yeah,
fine,
see ya.
Bruce, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
um, but with TubeBuddy, I seriously was like, I can stay here for the rest of my career.
yeah.
I genuinely like, I mean, look at this friendship that came out
I
of
know.
TubeBuddy. Like,
I
I
wanted to
have
see it succeed. I wanted to see it
Yeah, like I
so bad.
wanted to see it soar and I wanted to be a part of that. But I mean, TubeBuddy has had amazing people. There are people from the first riff
Yeah,
that happened a year and a half ago that, I mean, I'm going to lunch with them on Friday.
yeah, yeah,
One's from San Diego.
yeah.
So I will say TubeBuddy's culture was amazing, and the people that are left there are still phenomenal people. And I think it was the hardest decision for them. I know your leader, and you knew my leader, and both of those people are amazing people. And I think it was so hard on them. And I think that also made it harder on us because then we
Yeah.
saw the hurt and the how
He
distraught they were.
even he even was just like, he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do without you. Because like literally he's the only designer now.
Yeah.
And for anybody who's still there, they are now having to deal with this difficult situation without us.
Yeah.
So it's just like, because I think this last one, I mean, there wasn't a lot of people left. I think they got rid of like 20% with our
Yeah.
round,
Yeah.
So it's just like, but something that my boss did, I think we spoke maybe a week after. It was when we were still employed, like before August. But because I do have the tendency to self-doubt. Like, and there's times where I feel like I'm really, really good at what I do.
Hmm.
I believe in myself and I know that about myself. And then but in these kind of situations, even though we were talking about how it wasn't me, it was the situation,
Yeah.
like that self doubt is just like, ooh, look, her life,
Yes.
let's go get her, kind of.
Yeah.
And my boss was like, we got on this meeting and we are talking about how I was doing and managing and whatever. And he's just like, I want to read you the notes that I wrote down when I interviewed you.
Mm, that's so nice.
And he had all the notes still, and he read everything that he liked about our conversation, and what we talked about and whatever. And he read this back to me, and then he's like, and also here are all the notes from your references that I called to talk to
Mm,
you about you with, and like some of my best girlfriends and best bosses that I worked with in the past.
yeah.
And he's like pumping me like full of like all this like goodness that people have said about me, and he just was just like, you need to know how good you are.
Yes.
Especially, I'm going to go out and I'm going to be on this job hunt and I'm going to be self doubting and da 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 da. And he's like, you need to remember how good you are.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
and like, and he's just like, he's like, you need to get good at selling yourself because you are that good.
Yeah, I think that's a hard thing is selling
Yeah.
yourself
Oh,
after your legs have been taken out. Uh,
yeah.
I have always been such a confident person and been like, I'm that bitch, like I'm the shit, you know?
Need some of that.
I have always been, my mom is like, ever since you were like 3, you would walk into a room and be like,
Oh,
it's
Stephanie's
me.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But being laid off, that it was taken out of me, and I was
Yeah.
like, who am I? I mean, my husband was even like, what? Because I have always talked about, I mean, when he met me, he was like, you walk in a room and you're like, yep, and I'm that one. Like, I
You're a
am
Leo.
perfect.
Aren't you a Leo?
I'm a Leo. Yes. So, yeah.
No.
But being laid off took the Leo out of me. And
Yeah.
what helped me was exactly what your leader did to you. My leader did to me. He did not interview me because he acquired me after the big riff. But he reached out to me. He texted me. He was like,
Yeah.
"Let me connect you to a recruiter." And I, this was the job where I have gotten the most recommendation, like letters, those recommendations on LinkedIn. I mean, just pouring in
Mhm.
from my leader, from the leaders that I worked alongside, the one that is like my bestie, but
Yeah.
also the others. One of them was your boss,
Mhm.
because I worked side by side with him. I mean, and just like one of the people who was laid off with us, like
Yeah.
I just the outpouring of like, you are enough, you are good, you like get off your ass
Hmm. Hmm.
and say to the world that you're amazing
Dust off the
because you
mirror.
are. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that really helped. And that all poured in, I believe, for us like week 2, 3. It was like
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
took the time because it was then we were done because
Yes.
we got
Yes.
laid off, but we still had those 2 weeks.
Yep.
And that really helped to take away the self-doubt because, backing up the conversation a little bit, but when you said like, you were doubting yourself and then you were like, should we even go on this trip? Should we like,
Yeah.
I need to focus on this and this and that. It's like that I was feeling the same thing because newsflash, but I got laid off exactly a month to the day of my 40th birthday. So layoff was July 15th, my birthday, August 15th. So
Mhm.
I was like, I'm turning 40. I have this big birthday planned.
Yeah.
I don't feel my Leo self.
Yeah.
Should I cancel it? What? And my friends were like, no, the fuck, you shouldn't cancel it. You're not even gonna pay for anything. It's your birthday. And I'm like,
Yeah.
still, like, I just was,
Yeah.
I'm turning 40, which, mind you, anyone who's younger listening to this, turning 40 is not bad.
That's rad. I
But
think
I
it's
think it's like society's like, you're turning 40. And you're like, but it was like,
so yeah.
all of
I just
that.
watched yeah, I just watched a podcast and these girls were like, I just turned 35. And I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, like I'm just like, I don't know. This is my little like snippet for 40. Like my 20s, and I know it's different for everybody. My 20s were so like focusing on idealism, right? Where I'm like,
Mm,
everything needs to be this way. Like, I'm going to do this
mm,
when I'm 25, and this is going to happen when I'm 27, and this is going to happen when I'm 30. None of that happened.
yeah.
And then my 30s, literally on my 30th birthday, is like when I connected with my husband.
Mm,
Like I had met him when I was 18, didn't talk to him like my whole 20s. And then he was at my 30th birthday, and I was just like, hey, I remember you. And then like we've been together since.
mm,
Like, and with him, he was a dad with 3 kids. And so like I kind of went from like single girl in my 20s to stepmom, then wife, like in a serious family relationship. Because if you're,
mhm.
I mean, that's a whole other episode too, is like
Yeah.
stepmomming and
Yeah.
combined families and stuff like that. But like literally, like my 30s was this huge dose of realism
Hmm.
and family and sickness and then marriage and kids and having a baby, buying a house, selling a house, like jobs, career. Like my 30s were so jam packed of all this life,
Yeah.
right? And then so 40, I'm kind of like, you know what? Like my son, our last kid, is going to be 5 at the end of this year. Like climbing, he can get in the pantry, get his own snacks, use in the
Yeah.
bathroom. We're on a good track. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like for me, like I spent so much of the last decade serving others
Mm,
and taking care of others.
hmm.
And not that it's like 40 midlife crisis, like, hey, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like at least now things are kind of settled in place where I'm like,
Yes.
what am I about? What do I enjoy?
Yes.
Like this whole job experience too has kind of, like I said, it's made me question my career and stuff, but like I'm also like not willing to just
Settle.
settle like I
Yeah.
used to in the past,
Hmm.
and to say no. And like for instance, literally this past week, I mean, I got rejected or whatever for this one job, but I was questioning it the whole time because like they've been around, this business has been around for like 10 years.
Hmm.
Um, and it's for like medical equipment. So it's like serious stuff, but they've never had a designer.
Wow.
And they said they had several product teams and they wanted to hire me as the one and only designer to introduce design to this huge product team and for
Wow.
this product that's been around for a long time. And I just was just like, they don't, to me, I'm like, oh, you don't understand the value of design. Cause I was
Yeah.
like, are you gonna hire other designers? Cause like,
Yeah.
they're like, well, you kind of need, it was almost like you need to prove it to us how valuable design is.
No.
And I was just like, but then when you're in that desperation mode and you have no one saying,
Yes.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like beggars can't be choosers, right? And it's,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and so I just was like, my gut, which I've always been awful at listening to, but my gut was just like, I don't think this is what I want. And
And
then they
I
weren't
think
paying that much.
your age
Yeah.
being 40, I believe for me at least, and what I'm hearing from you too is like you're at the point where you're like, I'm not going to do that. Like I'm going to say no. Like you listen more
Yeah.
to your gut. Like
Yeah.
I will totally agree with you on that. Like
Yeah.
my 20s were different from yours because I had a
Yeah.
kid at 19.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so I was thrown into
Realism
real
versus,
life
yeah.
real quick. Like I did not have the party 20s and
Yeah.
the travel and the all this. Like so my 20s were definitely different, but I
Yeah.
still had like the okay, well, I'm gonna have this wonderful
This is
marriage
how life
with
should be.
yes, and
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna okay, yeah, I had a kid early, but I'm gonna have this wonderful marriage with the kid with my daughter's father, and that newsflash that did not happen.
Yeah.
My husband is not my two girls' father.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get to that on our step,
Yeah.
thing
Family. Yeah.
episode, but our family episode. But um, I still had these like points, like, okay, well, by 25, I'm going to do this, and by 30, I'm going to do this, and blah, 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 blah. Well, that did not fucking happen. And then my 30s came, and I will tell you, anyone listening who's in their 20s, your 30s are awesome because you think like you're turning 30 and you're like, oh my
I'm dead.
God. Like,
End of the world. Yeah.
yeah, put me
You're
in
so
the
young
coffin.
at 30.
Like,
You're
yeah,
so fucking young at 30. Like you're still like a brand
you're
new.
still a
Like,
baby. Yeah. And I mean, that was like the time of, still momming and everything. I had my son at 35, like, but and then still parenting my two girls. But you were also finding yourself, finding your career, finding like, okay, this is what I'm doing, finding that's when I found my husband now, and we have this amazing relationship. And
yeah.
so like finding yourself and who you are. And then I feel like the end of your 30s you get to that point where you're almost 40, and at first you kind of freak out a little bit because you're like, oh my God, I'm like midlife.
Growing up,
Like
40 was fucking old. Like 40,
yeah.
like you see pictures of people like in the 80s or the 90s who were 40 and they look like the Golden Girls. Like
Yes,
you're
you're like, oh my God, this is it. I'm
like,
done.
yeah,
Stick a
duds.
fork in me, nothing
Yeah.
else. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but I have been hit on more. Don't let this fool you. I actually do put myself together. But I have been I have been hit on more in my late 30s and now being 40 than I ever have. Like it is wild. And by like young dudes too. I'm like, you are 21. What are you doing?
I'm
But
not getting that. I'm not getting that. But
but it's
or
like,
old guys in Wyoming, which I'm like, no.
oh
That's
yeah, see, I'm in
no.
San Diego. I'm
Yeah.
like Peter Pan land. Every man here is like, woo, party time. So, um, but yeah, 40 is not old. It's actually, you're like, oh my gosh, I am now like at the point where I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
I will tell anyone no. I don't want to
Anyone.
do that.
Yeah.
I want to sit on my couch and put a face mask on and binge watch TV. I will. Or I want to go out and party and shake my ass. I will too. Like, I will do what I want to
I
do.
need to come out to San
Like,
Diego. I need
you
to
do.
like it's been there's nothing in Wyoming. Like I want to go shake my I do. It's been such a long time. I used to love dancing. I used to
Oh,
love dancing, and I haven't.
yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I
We're gonna have to
went
have,
dancing. Karaoke. I
you're
love
gonna have,
karaoke.
oh, we have karaoke bars galore here too. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you're gonna have to come out here. We're gonna have to do a girls trip. We could do
You'll
a
have to come
podcast.
out here too. Like, well, I'll take you like.
Yeah.
And like, the thing is, I'm not Miss like
I want to see a
nature.
buffalo. Are there buffaloes there?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see them. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, it's funny. Like, I'm just because I live in Wyoming. Like, I'm not Miss. I like to go camping. I like to go hiking, but I'm not like Miss Nature. I'm not Miss like,
Mm,
oh, like
yeah,
the,
yeah.
you know. But because I was in Colorado for the last 11 years,
Oh
like
yeah.
Denver. So like, and not that I necessarily want to live in like a big city anymore, but like,
But have a city like near you.
but I'm also not like Miss Country Bumpkin. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, there's not anything here.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, all right, like So I go to Colorado a ton still because I only live like 20 minutes from Colorado. But
Oh, okay. Yeah.
anyway, I forgot what we were even
I
talking
know.
about.
We're
We're
but
40. That's hard to 40 too.
yeah.
It's just brain
Yeah. Oh
kind
my
of doesn't work anymore. So that's
The
why I'm using
brain fog. That's another episode. We got to talk about being a woman in your 40s because apparently you turn 40 and
God.
it's like,
Yeah.
let me just forget everything and like have my knee break.
What's interesting though is just like, but this whole experience at the same time, I think no matter what age you are, like, and as much as we're like, I'm 40 and I'm confident, like in some of these like life areas, life topics, it's like, yeah, like I'm confident and I'm not going to put up with shit anymore, blah, blah,
Hmm.
blah. But then this layoff experience has made me feel like a little kid. It's made me feel
Yes.
so insecure and
Yes.
so, and it's just like, I'm 40, shouldn't I? Like,
Yeah.
that I like, shouldn't I be at this point in my career?
Yes.
Shouldn't I be some like fucking CEO or
Yeah.
some, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I don't want to be that. And
Yeah.
like, honestly, because I have like I just whacked myself in the face, but like, I like, I have a little side gig where I just make cake pops,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm just like, in a different world. And I have people who are like, you should just start your own cake pop business. I'm like, that is not realistic.
Yeah.
Like, that is not going to pay for the life I
That's the
have built.
same thing. Like people are like, you make TikToks and stuff. Why don't you just become an influencer or
Be
creator?
viral overnight. It's like,
And I'm like, okay,
yeah,
first off, I would love, like, I'm a Leo. My personality is definitely like, I will be in front of the camera all day, every day. Honey, just
yeah,
give me something to talk about. But I'm
yeah,
like, but then I got the bills to pay and I got kids to take care of. Like, I'm sorry, but a college kid, a teenager, and a 4-year-old is not cheap. Like,
yeah.
so like it's
No,
unrealistic. And that's the thing too, is like people who are at that point where they're unemployed and they're trying to figure things out. You talk to any creator, and we did. Like we
yeah,
worked for creators. Like,
yeah.
TubeBuddy was with Ben Labs too. Like I've worked with like
That's
creators and
cool
talked
too.
to
Yeah.
them. You do not get a one viral video and then you're making millions of dollars. That's not how it happens. Like it takes time. And so for us, like, like you with your cake pop business and things that you do on the side, and me with like my little videos on the side, it's like
Mhm.
the people, I get it. Thank you guys for telling us to go full force with that. But we are both moms in our 40s now who need a steady paycheck.
And the breadwinners. And in our situation,
Yes.
because it's just like to me, I've sat and thought, and like, how could I make this possible? And it's just like,
Yes.
all right, do we sell everything, start over?
Live in a van.
My husband's the only source of income, and then I
Yeah.
I go out there and pimp my cake pops,
Yeah.
which I'm like, everyone loves cake pops, but like, you know, not they people don't eat them every single
Yeah.
day. Or it's just like, or I'm gonna be baking 24/7, which I don't really want
Yeah.
to do. Like I can't do.
Yeah,
Where
and you saying that we were the breadwinners, like my husband is 5 years younger than me, and not saying that 5 years younger is you're at a different career state, but you are kind of like I was in the workforce 5 years. Well, yeah, 5 years, about five, almost 6 years before him. Like
yeah,
it is it unless he was some trust fund baby or got a big blow up or like figured out a business, and newsflash he didn't, like,
yeah,
I made more money. And so for that as well too, if you are the breadwinner, even if you have a significant other,
yeah,
roommate, whoever is living with you and is making money too, if you were the one that was bringing in the substantial amount and that goes away, you
yeah.
cannot just follow your dreams and become an
Or if someone
actor
has
or
done that,
model.
like teach me the secret because like
Exactly. If anyone knows the secret, like teach us, because I mean, we're just, and not saying that we're giving up our side stuff. Like, I
no,
fully want people to follow their dreams. Like, I would love to be able to do this for a living. I would love, like, when I edit our podcast, I'm happy. I feel amazing. When I shoot my TikTok videos, I feel amazing. When I am in CapCut,
When I do the branding stuff and the
yeah.
thumbnail, like I love doing that stuff. Like I
See,
love making the little technical art
exactly. But that's
branding.
not bringing in money.
No, it's not.
So, like that's something that we're still focused on, and that's where, it's like that's where our stress comes from.
Hmm.
That's why we need to who wants to really work for the man for the rest of their life? Like, no one wakes up and they're like, you know what? I want to be a corporate work hog for the rest of my life. Like,
Yeah,
no one does. Yes, there are companies that are amazing and you want to stay with them forever and this and this and that, but you don't like a lot of people want to do the things that they're super passionate about
yeah,
and do them for themselves. Um,
yeah,
but at the end of the day, we still have to pay bills and everything. And that's where the stress comes in is
yeah.
we are laid off. We do not have a stable income.
Mm.
And so, yes, we are doing these things on the side to make us happy. And I will say, like this podcast has helped with my mental
It's
health.
therapeutic. This is like,
Yes.
I feel like talking to you and then now like doing a little, this is another little side hustle that we're doing is just like,
Hmm.
has been therapeutic because I think you and I are both creative people. And
Yes.
after working at TubeBuddy and stuff and talking to other creative people, like I think creativity is nothing but therapeutic. And
Hmm.
we were talking about, we are working at a tech job. We've worked at tech jobs and stuff. And as millennials too,
Hmm.
we are the group that has gone through the most technological change in such a
Yes.
like we were there when the internet was born. We were there when the smartphone came around. We were there when
Social media came about.
social media blew up. And then now we're stepping over the threshold of AI and stuff where it's just like, will anyone in the world have a job?
Yeah.
Like who knows? Like teachers, therapists, tech
Yeah.
people, it's I feel like everything feels threatened. And so the one thing too with some of my interviews where like some companies and even TubeBuddy at the end was starting to experiment with this as well, like how do we create things with AI quickly,
Yeah.
right? um and it's I've spent the last 12, I mean I've been an artist my whole life, but like
Hmm.
12 years in this career where I have specialized and have been proud of my technical abilities to like create things.
Yes.
I love making that. And then to have AI come around and just be like, bleh, and it's like
Yeah.
in 3 seconds, do what took me like 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm just like, like I think having experienced how to do it so manually over a course of years, it's a weird paradox of like, oh my
Mm.
God, it just did that in 2 seconds. But then it's also lacking so much of that thought and that heart and that creativity and that
Yeah.
humanness in it.
Yeah.
That's what gives me some relief when it comes to AI is that like I don't know how it's going to get human right because it's
Hmm.
not.
Yeah.
And so I like us doing this, like we're going to fall back even if like AI takes over, right? Let's just say
Yeah.
that AI takes over everything, everything's automated, everything's kind of done for us. Like we are humans are going to default back. We are going to fall back on creativity. We're
Yes.
going to be like, oh, look at this loaf of bread I made with my hands,
Yeah.
or look at this flower arrangement I did,
Yeah.
or look at this mural I did on a wall, or something that AI can't. Maybe it can do it, but it like doesn't have the emotion in it,
The
and it's
emotion, the relatability, the passion,
the
like
soul, the soul, like
yes.
um, and
Hmm.
like that's where until AI can have like a pretty accurate soul, like I'm not feeling that threatened by it, and so
Yeah.
humans will always default on creativity, whether it's like telling a story with our
Yeah.
voice or using our hands to make something or dancing or whatever. Like we're always going to come back to ourselves, I think.
Yeah.
And so I think this is an example of that sort of where it's just like, we're rambling, but it's like we're telling stories,
We
we're
are. And we are
sharing feelings,
relating. Yes. And we are relating to people.
we're showing our
You know,
soul to people, like
yeah.
And like that's what's going to keep people connected when they're
Exactly.
going through all these ATS fucking readers and those
Yeah.
and
And
like
we're, yeah, and people look for something that they can connect to. I mean, when I doom scroll on TikTok or
uh,
Instagram or something, the
yeah,
things that I comment on, like I might like certain things, but a comment from me means I'm really engaged in what you're
sure.
doing.
Yeah, 'cause I never comment on things
Yeah,
ever.
I will
But if I
only.
do, I'm kind of like,
Yes, or I'm
yeah,
like, "Oh my God, that was amazing." Or like I was watching this TikTok and it was this mom and she was just talking about something that she went through with her daughter and I was like, that is so relatable. And I had to comment, and like
yeah,
that's where I think, we're only on episode 2, but we released episode 1 and we had people subscribe and we had
yeah,
comments and people are actually like I had one of the people that we used to work with and she's still there but she shot me a text and she was like I was watching you and Natalie's podcast and I love it. She was like I was sitting there saying you go girls, like I'm going to keep listening. It's like I love that no matter what comes out in the world, no matter what AI, even no matter when we both get jobs, we are
yeah,
still going to be chatting with each other. We are still going to be recording this
yes,
because it's not just about the
yeah,
layoff.
yeah,
It's not just about finding a job. It's about connecting with people and the fact that so many other people are going through the same things that we are, that are
hmm,
at the same age point that we are, that have
yeah,
the same amount of kids that we are, that are stepmoms, stepdads, like going through so many things. And I feel like that's what excites me
yeah,
about this is the
yeah,
fact that we will be able to connect with people um, and relate to people that we would have never talked to or related to before.
yeah. And like we were just saying, it's like I'm not expecting this or like it's like I don't expect this. Hey, mommy's talking to go viral, or you know what I mean? Like that's what's going to happen with this. Like I said, it's for us to feel creative. It's for us to express ourselves. It's for us to help other people
Yeah,
in some shape or form, even if it's one sentence that we said out of the whole hour. Like
yeah,
um, because like for me, my cake pops, right? Like I will make them for baby showers or 9-year-old birthdays or
hmm,
weddings or whatever, and I put a lot of my heart and soul into those.
hmm,
It's my art, so that's fueling my creativity and it's my outlet. I love to bake,
yeah,
but really it's what I enjoy from it is like me making something and giving it to people and just seeing them light up and being like, your
mhm,
K-pops just made the party, or everyone just thought they
yeah,
were so good. And like, of course I love that like validation and that good feedback, but I
hmm,
really love doing things to help or excite or bring joy to other people.
yeah,
And I just hope that this is something that can do that too. I know that we're it might feel like complaining or it might feel like a lot of negativity, but like that's what we're trudging through. Like we're sitting
exactly.
and like why not like let it go and let those little black clouds come out of our mouth if we're
Yes.
holding on to it. So
Yeah, yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head and a great way to end this episode too. And just that we both are passionate about bringing something to other people. And I hope that this resonates with someone, that this helps someone.
yep.
And I hope that people continue to tune in to our scatterbrain Sally rambling, but yet
Yeah,
conversations and just showing the world who we are. And so,
absolutely.
yeah. All right. Well,
Cool.
thanks for listening. Hey, Mommy's Talking is out.
Bye.
Bye.